What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys. Sorry that I'm late. I'm here for Real Housewives of Potomac season 10. This is episode number 5, I think. Episode was titled Sunshine and Sex, you guys. So before we get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel, and you guys are yet to subscribe to the channel, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor, y'all. Stop taking me on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. Now, you guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also turning on your post notifications. And with that out of the way, you guys, without further ado, let's get into the Real Housewives of Potomac. Also, you guys, sorry that I am late. So the reason why I'm late is because I had to go to Walgreens and pick up a prescription today because late last night, I was doing my little side hustle. I do Uber on the side, and I did a delivery to someone's house who didn't have any lights on, and they had the steps to their front door. They were the way that they were designed. It was terrible. So they had no lights on, and on my way back down the steps, I fell and hit the ground and messed up my thumb on my left hand, and my ankle is sprained. I sprained my ankle. So I had to go get my pain medication because your boy is in pain right about now. But the pain medication is kicking in, so I don't really feel it right now. So I got to keep my foot elevated and in this stupid boot. Ugh. But that's it. I just had to tell you guys why I was late. So yeah. But yeah, let's get into it. What did you guys think about this episode of Potomac? Cece, you say you were angry too. So, this episode of Potomac, I will say for me, did I enjoy this episode? It was okay. I wasn't as angry as I wasn't like I was last week. And I'll tell you guys why I don't feel the same way I felt last. I still do feel how I felt about this show, however, but I have a different feeling this week than I did last week because this week Tia, and not Tia, but Angel, girl, I like you, but ma'am, I got a side eye for you because you're not doing yourself any favors because you had a good moment with the girls, but we'll get into it. Let's go ahead and get into the review. Like, I'm gonna talk about you, Tia, and y'all tell me how y'all feel. So we pick up where we last left off with football head, Hey Arnold Stewie, Ashley Darby, questioning Stacey about if she, tried to talk to Chris Samuels. And it's like, girl, why do you give a damn? Oh, that's right. Because you ain't got no storyline. Like, if this girl would go away from me, if Ashley Darby would just go away, I think I would be happy. Because I know with Giselle, 9 times out of 10, Giselle ain't going nowhere. So I would be happy if Ashley just goes somewhere. So Stacey says that she and Chris are just friends. I was like, is that what you're telling yourself, Stacey? Because I can see you trying to talk to Chris. I really can. Is it a problem if you did? No. And here's why. Chris is single. Stacey's not friends with Monique. So, because I notice what Ashley is trying to allude to. Oh my God. Monique was a part of this friend group. Girl, we don't care. Do y'all care? Let me know. So Ashley then says to Stacey, well, Stacey, he's saying that, what did she say? Well, Chris is saying it too. Ashley, shut the fuck up. Hey, Kiwan, how am I? I'm much better than I was at 5 o'clock this morning. I know you just joined, so yeah, I was just saying the reason why I'm late is because I had to go to Walgreens to get my medicine, and only got one pill. It's my pain pill. The other one is not even ready. Oh my God! But I'm feeling much better. It's a sprained ankle. Thank God it's just a sprain and not my ankle is broke, which I kind of figured it was sprained last night when I fell. I was like, this is a sprain. But I was like, okay, I can still walk on my ankle. I can still walk on my foot. Shit, I went to sleep and woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, and my foot You couldn't even move. I had to crawl out of my bedroom. I had to crawl out of my bedroom. So back to Ashley. Girl, go to hell. I guess what I just really want Ashley to do is just to go to hell and away from me with that. Now, Stacey did have me laughing when she said, she had me laughing when she was talking about, well, you know, what guy wouldn't want to say that? I said, Stacey, Stacey, be so for real. Be absolutely for real about that one. Like, but it was funny to me because Ashley ain't had nothing to say. So we see as they left dinner, and you guys remember this is Wendy's birthday weekend, so we're celebrating Wendy. Yay! We're celebrating Wendy. Happy birthday, girl. So then Kiara was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go to bed. And I was like, okay, girl, bye. Like, when it comes to Kay, Kay is just Kay is just a problem to me. Kay is a problem. Like, that's my whole thing. So they have fun with each other, right? So Ashley decides she wants to play this game. Kiwan, absolutely. Ashley is Aggie. Stacy is a real airhead. She is. But I also think that with Stacy, that's also an act. I don't know how much of that with Stacy is real. Now, what I also will say I found funny over the week, I saw where people put them QVC. I saw where people put them QVC clips of Stacy selling her products. I was like, she has the same persona from QVC to this show. Like, you say you agree, but I like Kay. So I heard, like, I like Kay. I do like Kay, but she is just getting on my nerve. She is getting on my nerve. Hold on, y'all. But yeah, I do like Kay, but I think so. Um, so yeah, Kay went to her room. What you say? This season, Kay is annoying. I like the okay. Yeah, I like the okay. She sure does. Nothing phases Stacey, and I like that about. I like that about Stacey. I do like that about Stacey. So back to Ashley. So this big head helper decides she wants to play a game. And the game, she asked Wendy, has Wendy ever been attracted to a woman? So Wendy said yes. It was a stripper. I think she said in DC, and the stripper had braces. And they like, braces? What's wrong with braces? Like, I got braces. What's wrong with braces? At least her teeth ain't fucked up. At least she ain't got fucked up teeth. So fuck y'all. So then Tia was like, "Oh my god, that is a good question. I wish you had asked me that question." So Tia hits us with, she got a thing for Rachel Maddow. Now, if you guys don't know who Rachel Maddow is, she's a political commentator, and she has a show on MSNBC, if I'm not mistaken. I think Rachel's on MSNBC. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I think she's on MSNBC. Ashley, Ashley wants Ashley wants everybody to be as freaky as she is. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. So then Ashley then asks Jazzy if she thinks that when it comes to Darius, if there was any cheating, right? And so, hey V Spencer, how you doing this afternoon? So she says in the past, yes, currently no. I was like, okay, girl, if you believe that, then hey. And actually, let me ask you a question. Why do you care? Like, why do you care? Your husband was allegedly cheating on you with men, and you ain't said nothing. So why do you care what her man is doing? What it got to do with you? Oh, that's right, nothing. Again, what does Ashley lack this season? A storyline. So Ashley's gonna use anything she can to have a moment on this show. What I want is for this to be Ashley's last and final season. I know I said that last season, but I meant the last season, and I want it to be the same thing this season. Ashley does not need that champagne flute for season 11. Ashley should have been a gynecologist because she's always in everyone's. She is. So then after that, Wendy asked Angel, who in this group would you pow, 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 pow? Y'all know what I mean by pow, pow, pow. Y'all know I can't say that word for monetization purposes, right? So Angel says it would be Giselle. I was like, oh, interesting. Why would you take out Saturn's rings, aka Turkey Nick, aka Giselle? Hey, the informed. How are you doing? Like you said to her. So Angel was able to have a really good time with the ladies because she even went over there and sat by Wendy. I was like, okay, Angel, this is so we just needed you to be away from Kiana to have a little bit of fun. That's sad. Like that's sad, but you guys can tell me how you feel. So we get to the next morning. So what I will say is I wasn't angry, but what I was frustrated. I was frustrated the next morning, and I'll explain why. So we're at Kiana's and Angel's villa, right? And Angel is talking about how she's still upset about what Giselle did at the dinner table. I says, say what now? Run that back to me. You're not upset about what Giselle said to you because you were laughing and kikiing with the girls. You hugged Giselle, you hugged Wendy, you hugged everybody at that table. So you can't, which here's the thing. Is it possible she could still be upset? Cool. She could be, right? But I'm not that kind of person. And you know what? My mom always told me you can't expect everybody to be like you. And so let me take me out of the equation. But I do find it weird that you were able to laugh with them, have fun with them, but then the next morning you come back to the table and you're still upset about the same issue from the night before. Here's my thing to you, Angel. If that is the case, then why didn't when you said that you would, on a live Giselle, why do you take that time to say, Giselle, I felt the way because, you did this and you were body shaming me. Giselle says she wasn't body shaming her in her interview. She was like, it was just the fact that, that picture, you couldn't tell that was Angel. But you still were being a bitch, Giselle. Let's just call a spade and be for real about it. You were being a bitch. Like, let's be real. You know that girl had a baby. Maybe she's not, again, think about maybe she's not comfortable with her body yet. The fuck? Like, come on. But Giselle apologizes to Angel and she's like, can I give you a hug? And Angel's like, no. Angel, that part I absolutely have respect for. The fact that you told her, no, don't give me a hug, I was cool with it. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with you saying no. Again, the problem that I have is it just, in my personal opinion, you guys will tell me how you think, but in my personal opinion, it feels like when you got back to your villa the night before, which we see it'll come up later, But it feels like once you got back to the villa, you had a conversation with Kiana, and Kiana reignited whatever you were feeling. You know what I'm saying? But you guys can come with your thing again. You say I'm the same way sometimes. I'm the same way sometimes too. I get angry at myself for not speaking up when things happen. I mean, I get it. Angel's hormones are all over the place. Two babies back to back, and she's still breastfeeding. And here's the thing: I do get her still. You know, I do get all that stuff, and that's why I'm not coming out like down super hard on Angel because I do get it. She just had two. She just had a. You know, she had a baby. 19 months ago. So yeah, I'm not coming down on Angel. I just find it, like I said, I just find it a little bit, for me personally, I just find it a little bit odd that you had fun with those girls, minus Kiarna. Like I just wish you had said something because you still were feeling away. Like you were still feeling away about it. You were still feeling away about it. So you should have just said something in the moment and then let it be that. But it is what it is. Now, where are we at? So they went, so after that, and I felt bad that Angel was crying. I really did feel bad about that. Because she told Giselle she thought she was being mean. Girl, it ain't no, you didn't think she was being mean. She was being mean. Giselle was being a bitch, which is what she is. Like something like you should have said, you should talk about her, you should have talked about her neck. Girl, do you airbrush your neck? Do you airbrush them ankles and cankles? Like I would have drugged Giselle from here to hell. Angel has got to get her footing in this group. I think she'll be all right. I'm giving her some time. I do think she'll be okay, but I think I honestly, I think a big hindrance for her is Kay. I think Kay is a little bit of a hindrance. And hear me out why I say I think Kay is a hindrance to her. I feel like when it comes to Kay, I feel like Angel feels like because Kay is her friend in real life and Kay brought her to the show, quote unquote, that she wants to show some kind of allegiance and loyalty to Kay. That's what I think. But again, y'all know I love y'all's opinions. Even when we disagree, I love to hear it. Christ says, I think Angel is going to be a one season wonder. This show wasn't for her. I saw a lot of people say that they think Angel is a one season wonder. And here's my pushback on the whole one and done. I don't necessarily like a one and done housewife. And here's why. Their first season, they can come in and they can be a big hit. But then their second season, it could be a dud, right? Or the reverse. They can come in their first season and be a complete, it just flops for us. But then they get a second season and they come back and show a different side of themselves, right? I'll give you guys a person who was supposed to be a one and done. And she's not, she didn't have a great first season of her show, of her city, but after she came back, her second season, she's really delivered. And y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all know who I'm talking about. Portia from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Portia was supposed to be a one and done, season 5. But that reunion is what saved her peach. And I mean, look at Portia now. Bravo loves her, right? I'm trying to think of some other housewives who were supposed to be one and done on their respective cities. Well, actually, I'll give you some that I think there were one and dones, and I don't 100% agree with it, even if I didn't like them. Somebody I'm gonna say, if you guys watch Beverly Hills, y'all remember Anna Marie? She was a one and done. Did I agree with her being a one and done? No. Was she annoying? Absolutely. But I think she could have been a really good housewife. She just was an annoyance to me. But she was a one and done, right? Claudia Jordan was a one and done. I think Claudia could have been a great housewife. Again, Claudia wasn't for me, but I think she could, given at least a second. I think they should at least get a second season to see what they can bring to us. Kind of like Kiana, right? Because remember, Kiana was a friend of. Then she was supposed to have been a friend of last season, but she got her flute last minute, and now this is her first official real season. And so if Kiana's the one and done after this, then I'll be okay with that because this season she's not doing anything for me personally. Oh, V. Spencer, you are absolutely right. How did I forget about Shamari DeVoe? Oh my God. I still hate Bravo for that. Shamari was good her first season. And she should have definitely she should have returned. Well, here's the thing about Shamari. And I don't know if this is true 100%, but from what I've heard about Shamari, Shamari was invited back, but as a friend of, and I don't think Ronnie, this is what I've heard, I don't think Ronnie wanted her to do that. I believe that's what I've heard. But I think she was asked back as a friend of. Like, hell, here's somebody else that they give chance after chance, but she flops. Sheree. Let's be real, Sheree flops. But I definitely agree with you, B. Shamar should have got a second season. That girl did good. The way she read Marlo, the way she read Marlo for filth. Oh, the way she read Marlo for filth. But yeah, I believe the reason why Shamari didn't come back as a friend of is literally because of Ronnie. I don't think Ronnie wanted that. And I don't blame Ronnie. That is a housewife. That is a full-time peach holder. Friend of my ass. If y'all keep giving Sheree peaches and she brings nothing to the show, girl, fuck out of here. The most recycled peach in history. It is. And that peach should be rancid at this point. So moving on. Oh, also one more thing with your Angel Beloved. Again, I do like you, but I just have to call out things that I see when I see it. So the fact that you read Giselle about being almost, well, it was your husband said she was almost 60, but the fact that you read her about being married and her not being married, then no, ma'am. Say that to her face. Like that's my problem. That's my other problem with you, Angel. Say the shit to her face. Like I would have said it to her face. Like, girl, you out here, going from man to man, looking for a man. I got a good one at home that does, that I can count on and depend on. What can you say? You know what I'm saying? So don't throw the shade in the interview. Throw the shade. So in this case, now let's throw the shade at the reunion. Let's shade that health at the reunion. I was trying to think of that line, and I was gonna say it, but I was trying to. I'm so glad you said you may not be a mother, but you are a mother. I love when she told. I was trying to think of that line, but I could not remember what Shamari said to Marla about her being a motherfucker. Shamari was reading Marlo, and oh God, she was reading the shit out of Marlo. Now that would have been somebody good for Marlo to go back and forth with when she had her peach instead of candy. Because Shamari was gonna give it to you. We need to see them shoulders bouncing. Like who told us? Oh God. Who told us to go on that television show with their shoulders bouncing? I miss Shamari. She was good for this show. Bravo. Season 18. Get Shamari. Shamari would fit in great with this new Atlanta cast. I personally feel. But move on. Moving on. Moving on. So the girls are getting ready for breakfast, right? I was so confused. Why did why did Kay decide to pull Ashley to the side to have a conversation with Ashley about Angel and Wendy? Okay, girl, whatever. They fumbled big time. They fumbled Shamari big time, and Eva was a waste. Stayed knocked up and unavailable. So here's my thing: when it comes to Eva, my biggest gripe when it came to Eva wasn't that she was pregnant. It was the fact that Eva is a great when it comes to throwing shade. I'll give Eva credit for that. Because she even read Marlo, right? She read Marlo for that over that wig. The problem with Eva was Eva reluctant. I don't know if it's reluctantly or unfortunately or whatever, but Eva would forget her damn shade. And then when she gets called on it, I don't remember saying that. I'm like, oh God, Eva. That was my problem when it came to Eva. That was my problem with Eva right there. Because she was quick with the shade. Quick with it. So you have Ashley, Tia. I keep want to say Tia, but it's Ashley, Angel, and Kay. They were talking, right? But then you got the other girls, and they're talking about Kay, and they're talking about Angel. And so this is the point where we start to see that Angel and Kiana had a conversation when Angel got back to their villa. I was like, oh God, Angel, like you're not doing yourself any favors. Like, again, it's okay. Like, I don't have a problem with you having your girls back. You know what I'm saying? Have Kiana's back, but don't do it to your detriment. And I think that that's ultimately what's happening with Angel is to Kiana, is to her detriment. So Wendy mentions that she felt a way that Kiana didn't celebrate with them for her birthday. I mean, the girl says she was tired. I wouldn't give a damn. I really wouldn't. But maybe that's just me. And here's the thing, y'all, if y'all know me, but y'all do, y'all know how I celebrate my birthday. I go for my birthday. So I really, if you don't want to celebrate my birthday, that's fine. I'm gonna celebrate it to the fullest. But it is what it is, right? So we see the ladies as they're leaving for the day. Now, one thing I'm going to say, Angel, I like you, but girl, I don't want to keep hearing about Bobby. So Bobby gave her $5,000 to spend. I was like, girl, what you gonna spend? I was kind of with Wendy. What you gonna spend $5,000 on here? Like, y'all are on a small island. Like, I don't know if this island got like the big high-end stores. And they ain't no shade to that. And there ain't no shade. I'm just asking the question. But hey, you letting us know your man got 5,000. He got $5,000 just to send to you. Shit, I ain't got no problem with that either. Get it how you live. Get it how you live. I'm not taping my eyelids open to stay awake for a B I don't mess with. I sang, leave it here, leave it there. They was hating. Yeah, I mean, I agree. So we see as they get in the van, right? And this man starts singing a song to them, and you see Ashley's big head ass in the back of the Sprinter van, just a bob in her head. I said, Ashley, this is what you wish you sounded like. And I was so glad that Wendy called out the fact that, hey, you want an intern? Ashley, you might want to hook up with him because when I hear somebody singing Roberta Flack, I want to hear somebody sound like him. I said, amen, Wendy. Because oh God, the fact that they allow this woman to butcher people's songs, it's like, oh my God. I want anybody who makes an R&B song, any kind of song, send Ashley Darby a cease and desist from singing your songs. Make Ashley have to sing a song in Spanish. Make Ashley have to mime a song. Actually, that's where we need to go. Make it so Ashley can't sing a song. Make it so Ashley has to do interpretive dance. Make it so she has to mime. Make it so she don't have to open up her mouth to sing. Because I swear if I hear Ashley sing one more time, and it is always on my Twitter, on my Instagram timeline, whenever that disrespectful big head ass heifer is somewhere singing. I'm like, oh my God, who gave this wretched woman, and I said wretched, this wretched woman a fucking microphone, and why? Corey says, man, I can't stand Ashley. I can't either. It's disrespectful to the family. Exactly. And Roberta Flack had just passed away. Like, oh God. Just desecrating on that woman's legacy. Singing her song. Oh God. Mm-mm. I'm so glad that that's not her storyline this season, because I swear to God, if Ashley was coming to me this season talking about she's going to try to sing, I would have told y'all, fuck this show and fuck her. Because there is no way I can sit and listen to Ashley sing for weeks and weeks and weeks. No, no, no. So the ladies go on this tour, and they talked about Hamilton and like him dying and how it was a duo with him and somebody else, but they hated each other. Now, Wendy, hello, girl. Listen to me and listen to me clear. You were being mad, and when I say mad, you were being mad, passive aggressive when it came to Kiarna. That is one thing that I had to agree with Kiarna on. I'm like, Wendy, you're being passive aggressive. And Kiarna, you use it correctly. Because normally you don't know how to use things in the correct tenses and stuff, right? But you were absolutely spot on the money. Wendy was being passive aggressive, and it was irritating me to my soul. Because I was like, girl, just if you want to call out Kiarna, call her out. Like, the fuck? But okay, it wouldn't be Housewives if we didn't do it, right? So after that, we see Tia. So Tia checked on Angel to make sure, like, hey, girl, you good? Now Jazzy decides that she wants to call out Angel Tia, because she says, well, Tia, you said that you were thinking it too. Okay. Thinking something and saying it are two different things, Jazzy. Like, are you dense? Like, are you dense, girl? Okay, it's one, like, it's okay if we all thinking it, but it doesn't mean that you have to verbalize it. And that's exactly what she said. She said, I was thinking it, but I didn't say it because that's just rude. And it is. But see, the thing is, Giselle don't care about being a rude, tacky heifer. I mean, look at the house. Look at the upside down outside house. If she cared about how that, if she cared about anything, she would care about how ugly that house is. She would also care about these wigs with no parts. But she doesn't care about that either. So there's that. Can't stand Giselle, right? So then Jazzy decided to call Angel out about how, last night you were, living it up with us, having fun with us, but now today is a different story. She's like, well, she said, if you really knew me, you would have known I was actually annoyed last night. I said, you were? I said, that was annoyed? Oh, okay. Color me confused. I thought you were having fun with the girls. But I mean, I guess, she said she was pissed. She was annoyed. But okay, very weird. Very weird. So then we get this scene where the girls are all sitting together, right? Now Wendy did get sick, but we see where Wendy called out Ashley for being Captain Save-A-Hole when it came to Giselle, because Stacey was asking Giselle about her man. And then Ashley flipped the table in script and asked her about Chris Samuels, right? So Wendy just wants to get down to the bottom of who is Sean. Is he your boyfriend? Like, what's the tea with Sean, right? So Giselle says that, she's realizing that she needs a man. And, it just all kind of came to her after her father passed away. And, my condolences again to Giselle for losing her father, right? So they asked her, like, have you guys had sex with each other? She didn't want to answer that question. They asked her, have the girls met him? She didn't want to really answer that question. But in her interview, she told the producers that, Grace met him, and Grace said he's age appropriate. Girl, you know that man, Jason, wasn't your mama's boyfriend, but hey, it was a storyline. And we saw right through it, just like we saw through her dating your daddy again. But that's neither here nor there. Now, Wendy, this is where you lost me at because you kissing Giselle's ass so hard. Talking about, Giselle, I can now call you my friend, and I'm just asking because you're my friend, and I just want you to be happy. I said, Wendy, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. That is all that you wanted from her was to be friends with her. Like, girl, go to hell. Like, Wendy just got on my nerves. I was like, that's all you wanted was to be friends with this lady. Okay, Wendy, if you like it, I love it for you. And if you're happy, beloved, I'm happy for you. Do do you? Do you? So then we move on. And so Wendy asked Tia when she married her husband Rob, since they're both Nigerian, she was like, was there an issue with your family? And she said it was then and it still is currently, I guess. Ooh, that's weird. And I'm not going to get into a diaspora war conversation because I don't want to, but it's it's interesting how us African Americans are looked at, from our brothers and sisters from, different countries, more specifically over there on the motherland. I just think it's interesting how we're viewed sometimes. And, we're not always viewed in the right light. But I also will say, I feel like sometimes when it comes to, and this is, we're not getting into that conversation deeply. I just feel like sometimes when they have, these preconceived notions about who we are as African Americans, I think it comes from what is portrayed of us, not, like especially in the media. But moving on, because like I said, I don't want to get too deep into that conversation because that is not something that I want to talk about. Definitely not something that I want to discuss. But moving on. Wendy kissing up Giselle is crazy. It was mind blowing to me. So I've already said the fact that I was just by this point I was overhearing about Bobby because this was the point where she mentioned that he had sent her $5,000, but the clothes in that area was $12. You're gonna go home with a lot of money, and I wouldn't even be upset about that. I really wouldn't be. So after that, I guess no, it wasn't Stacy who mentioned it. So Angel mentioned that she sent a sext to Bobby. I was like, girl, how many times are you gonna talk about Bobby? This is a girls' trip. This is where you're supposed to let loose, have fun. Now, I mean, in your particular case, I don't know how you can have fun with these heifers, but whatever. So then somebody suggested that Stacy send a sext to Timo, something like that, whatever his name is. So she sent him one, and he responded back to her. He was like, "Sex with me," and she was like, she sent him a picture of her. She's like, "Sex with me," and he was like, "You got the wrong number." I cracked up at that shit, and I think people took it the wrong way. I think people took it as he was saying she was texting the wrong person, like literally texting the wrong person. But I think he was like, "Are you sure you texting the right person?" Like he was like, "Are you sure you texting the right person about sex?" I think that's where he was coming from. I don't think he was like, "You literally have the wrong fucking number." Just to add, a lot of Black Americans have hate for Africans. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. There are some that do have a hatred for them, and why? I don't understand it on either spectrum. I don't understand it on either spectrum, but I agree. There are some out there who just don't see it for them, but that's where we come from. But okay. But I agree with you. I absolutely do. Um, so then after that, we see the ladies went to dinner minus Wendy, right? So They all took a shot. And then Angel asked, "Is she on the menu yet again?" I said, "Oh, Angel, ma'am, don't give these girls any reason to put you on the menu. Because by you asking that question, you might not have been, but they may want to say, hell, fuck it. You want to be on there? Let's go ahead and put you on there." So then Giselle and the girls told Kiana how offended Wendy was that she didn't say the night before, right? But Kiana was like, she was tired and she was upset for her friend. Kiana, and you guys can jog my memory if I'm incorrect. If you were upset for your friend, did you defend her at that table? Because I don't remember you defending her. The main person that I remember defending Angel at that table last week was Tia. Tia was like, "Guys, she just had a baby 19 months ago." And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember Kiana saying anything, right? So then Angel, she was talking about how, yeah, last night was cool. And they were like, Jazzy was like, "But you said you were upset." She was like, "Yeah, I slept on it." And you came back upset? Like, that's where I'm confused at. Because you say you were upset. Okay. But then you said last night was cool. And so which again, here's the thing. Like, I'm not saying that that can't happen where you could feel good about something and you feel like you've gotten over it. And then you wake up the next morning and you start really just thinking about it again and you get upset about it. I'm not saying that that doesn't happen because it happens to me. But if someone, but then that also goes to what I was saying earlier. It's like if you still felt the way, it would have been okay to say to Giselle, like, "Hey, girl, yeah, I said I would unalive you, but girl, what you said to me, questioning me, it wasn't, I didn't appreciate it. And and leave it at that. But you didn't. So I don't know. I can't really be upset with Giselle because you didn't speak up for yourself in that moment. And that'd be my problem with some of these girls. It feels like to me, everybody wants to be Giselle's friend. And I don't know why. I don't know if they feel like if they cozy up to Giselle, she can keep them on the show. I don't know what the fuck it is. But Tia defended her, and so Jazzy told Tia, "Well, girl, you use fillers too." And what I will say is, I really, really, really fucks with Tia because Tia's like, "I do, thank you." I was like, "Come on, Tia, you ain't let that girl get under your skin." And I was so here for Tia not letting Jazzy rattle her cage because she didn't give a damn. She did not care, right? So then Kiara decides that she wants to address Jazzy. She said that you talked about Wendy, and then you talked about something that I said about Wendy. And so then Jazzy was like, well, you mentioned talking about Darius. And so I'm wondering if you're jealous of now, Jazzy. I don't know anybody that is gonna be jealous of that relationship because it's still confusing as hell. It's still very confusing, but okay, whatever. If you happy with your relationship, then you be happy with it. But I don't think anybody else wants that relationship or is even anywhere near jealous of it. But okay, go ahead and do what you do. So Jazzy then says to Kiara she regrets how she responded to Kay, but she wants Kay to be responsible for how she came at her. And that's ultimately where the episode ended, you guys. This episode, like I said, it was better than the last one. I could tolerate this one just a smidge better than the last one, or the last few that we've gotten. But yeah, you guys, let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comments below. You guys subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until next time, do me a solid favor, you guys. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. And also, you guys, y'all know I got to plug my friends. So y'all know the Whether You Like It or Not panel, they are live tonight. They are on Sakina's channel. So go over there and watch them tonight. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.